At this point, pretty much every company out there claims to be customer-centric, but I think very few companies really are, and there's a pretty simple way to tell. The entire world of business has been gripped for years with this fervor for customer experience and satisfaction, obsessively soliciting customer feelings and feedback on virtually every interaction, no matter how trivial. And the satisfaction scores have been set up now as the most important metric of company performance, at least as it relates to customer loyalty and retention. But I think it's been a catastrophe because, well, as I've shown, the entire concept of customer experience was based on a false premise, which is that customers who are happy stay and unhappy customers leave. But that isn't the case. And now satisfaction scores have become so important and so dominant as a way to think about how effective our company is at meeting customer needs that companies now even use customer satisfaction scores to tell their own customers how satisfied they are. I think the whole thing's been a catastrophe. And it's a trap because now we're stuck with a dominant metric everybody's decided is the right metric, which measures something which ultimately doesn't relate to how effective we are with our customers. And so how do we get out of this trap? Well, we have to go back to principles. The first law of customer retention says customers stay to get results. And I think this points to the only way that a company could genuinely claim to be customer-centric. If what matters are results, then the only way you could convince me you're customer-centric is if you measure your customer results. But obviously, vanishingly few companies really do that. Very few companies identify and then actually go through the trouble to measure customer results, every customer, every result. Instead, what companies do is invest immense resources to obsessively measure customer feelings. And as we see, feelings are not a predictor of customer loyalty. And all the time they're doing that, they're neglecting to check in on the very results they exist to produce. So that's why I think business has lost its way, and that the customer experience revolution is a total failure. Companies are stuck in this parallel world, madly chasing after customer satisfaction, while their customers keep trying and frankly too often failing to get the results they're looking for. I think what we need is a major shift in perspective. At the heart of this trap is a basic misunderstanding of the customer relationship. The true basis of the customer relationship is purpose. What it means to be truly customer-centric is to make the customer's purpose, the result they're seeking, your purpose. And people say, but that's what we are doing. No, it's not. And there's a simple way to tell. Because what really matters is always revealed by what we measure. And if you think about it, the things that we measure about customers don't really have to do with their results. They're about our results. Start with satisfaction. That's really just a measure of how the customer feels about us. When we ask a customer for their feedback, we're asking them to talk about us, not about them, what they're trying to do, but how they feel about us. It's all about us. And we measure retention, obviously, but retention's not a measure of their result. It's our result. That's what we get out of the relationship. When they renew the contract we want them to renew. So the fact is that everything we measure always makes it about us, not about the customer. And I'm convinced that the customer experience revolution has actually made business less customer-centric because it's fundamentally inward-looking. It's all about us, how customers feel about us, our satisfaction scores, our retention rate, our cool product and features. You see the problem? We need a new mindset. It's not about you at all. It's about the customer. And fundamentally, That means it's about the customer's purpose. And the proof is that when we accomplish the customer's purpose, when we deliver the results they came to get, they renew. And what differentiates different companies and products isn't the features or price or experience. It's how effectively are they able to produce the results the customers want. I love this quote from Peter Drucker. If you can't measure it, you can't improve it. This idea that we can be customer-centric without measuring the thing that's central to the customer relationship is absurd. So this is what I think has to be the standard metric of customer success: customer results. We have to measure the thing the customer's here for. And I don't mean your product allows customers to measure their results. I mean you are actively measuring their results for every customer. That's what they came for. That's what you exist for. It's the true basis of your relationship. And so it's the only way I think a company could credibly claim to put the customer at the center. But as I said, very few companies actually directly and systematically measure their customers' results. So how can we claim to focus everything we do on the customer when we aren't even paying attention to the thing they came for? And this simple idea is the basis for a whole new way of operating that I call the total customer strategy. It aligns everything in the company to driving and measuring customer results. It starts with a clear understanding of the specific, valuable results customers come to us to achieve. What are those results exactly? How are they measured? What are they worth? And this leads to clarity as to exactly who we are for, the true bullseye customer for whom we can produce the best results. And the core practice of the customer-centric company is the systematic measurement and materialization of customer results. This is the company's single most important performance indicator. And the company's most important asset is its expertise to know how to drive results for the customers. This is the fundamental logic of the total customer strategy. And in the videos I've made so far, we've only been able to scratch the surface of what this means and how it changes everything about our way of doing business. But I hope it's opened the door to a new mindset for you. And I suspect you've already been thinking of lots of ways in which you can immediately implement these ideas in your own company, in your own situation. Over and over again, I've seen how once someone grasps this basic set of ideas, they quickly begin to see implications for pretty much everything they do. That's what happened to me. Once I could see how the conventional mindset was wrong and the real customer dynamics came into view, my practice changed quickly and in ways that dramatically empowered my efforts to make customers successful. Look, business is complicated and it's constantly changing. It's not practical to manage in a way that requires a rule for every possible scenario or situation. What we need is to operate to first principles. We need fundamental principles that we can refer to that guide our decision making. And the 3 laws of customer retention are just those kinds of principles. Fundamentally, they allow us to look at any situation we're in and be able to make a decision about how to apply that principle where we're at. So the 3 laws are: customers stay to get results, customers get results because they change their behavior, and customers change their behavior because they know why and how to change. I found that operating to these principles empowers my practice to drive dramatically better customer results. It focuses my attention on the right things and gives me reference points for handling every situation I face so that I'm centered on the fundamental reason we're in a relationship with a customer at all, which is to drive their results. The 3 laws of customer retention are powerful guides for operating according to first principles. Whenever you're faced with a challenge or a key decision, go back to the 3 laws. And I think you'll find that they nearly always reveal the best way forward. I hope you found these videos helpful. We've only been able to scratch the surface on all the implications of how this changes everything about our business. And there's a lot more to come. In future videos, I'm going to go deeper on these principles, talk more about other things that work really well to drive customer results, and a lot of other topics. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you then.